If you saw the title of this video, September 11th, the smoking gun, and thought you were going to find more evidence that the government was behind the attacks and you were all happy, well, you're about to be disappointed. There is a conspiracy when it comes to September 11th, but it has nothing to do with the government. The real conspiracy is a conspiracy to make money lying that the government was involved at all. That's the real conspiracy, and this video is going to prove that. I'm going to prove there's cover-ups. I'm going to prove that people are hiding information. They're not. They say the government's hiding information, but yet they're the ones who are hiding information, and I'm finding out more and more about it. I'm finding out. I explain how they hide information. I answer all their questions in Loose Change. The book I wrote is titled Lifting Up the Couch Cushions, Exposing the Loose Change. In the book, I prove loose change wrong 100% of the time. I prove that they have no evidence or facts or proof. They only have opinions, hearsay, speculation, and rumors. This video is titled September 11th, the smoking gun, because the smoking gun is that I'm uncovering that Jason Burmis and Dylan Avery hid information. The following is from their video. If you go to my favorites, I didn't make the video, but it's in my favorites because I refer to it and I refer people to it to prove certain points. Now, if you go to my favorites and look for the video, 9/11 Loose Change, full edit, and you go to 48 minutes, 28 seconds on YouTube, but if you have the DVD, it's 48 minutes, 58 seconds on the DVD. If you go to that point in the video, you will see that I did not mess with this audio. I took it exactly the way it is from the Loose Change video. Listen to this first clip.
Chief Palmer had reached the fire on the 78th floor of the South Tower and devised a plan to put it out. If the 78th floor was a raging inferno like the government would have us believe, then Palmer wouldn't have gotten as far as he did, and certainly wouldn't have been able to put it out.
Okay, there is a link in the description of this video of a lot of the fire department transmissions of that day, the recordings. You can go to that link. When you click the link, you're going to bring up the page, and you scan down on the page, and you're going to see stuff like Brooklyn Fire 1 through, there's Brooklyn Fire 2 all the way through 6. There's also Manhattan Fire 1 through 6. And then the one you want, it's titled Port Authority Audio Repeater. That's where Jason and Dylan got the audio of Chief Palmer. Now, they listened to they're not going to just sit there and say, oh, we got what we need. You know, they're trying to find answers and the truth. Wouldn't you say they would have listened to the entire audio and heard everything? Well, I'm sure they did. But the part you just heard from the video is the only audio of any fireman that they put in their video that were reporting, like Chief Palmer. But I'm going to play in a minute. I'm going to play another firefighter that they heard on the audio recording, but they knew they could not put it in their video because it would damage their case. It would take their claim and flush it down the toilet. Oh, just so you know, Chief Palmer's first name is Oreo. Hey, Jason and Dylan, do you remember hearing this guy on the audio that anybody could click the link to and listen? Because they know you're lying at this point. They're going to figure it out. Hey, you guys, tell me if this sounds familiar, Jason and Dylan. Okay, that's another firefighter on that same exact recording looking for Oreo Palmer. Okay, he just said South Stairway Adam, which is A, South Tower.
478.
Okay, if you remember, Jason said Chief Palmer made it to the 78th floor. Listen to this clip of the other firefighter.
We're on 78, but we're in the B stair. We're trapped in here. We got to put the fire out to get to you.
Okay, that firefighter said he was in the stairwell B, but he's trapped in there because there's fire. Now, that doesn't sound to me like stairwell B and stairwell A seem like they would be on opposite ends of the core, or I know they're not right next to each other. So, what about those two pockets of fire Chief Palmer was talking about?
10-4, we're going to knock down some fire here in the B stair. We'll meet up with you. You get over to the A stair and help out Chief Palmer.
Okay, if this firefighter is in the B stairwell knocking down some fire, and he just radioed obviously a different firefighter than Oreo Palmer to say go help Chief Palmer because he's knocking down his own fire. He's not knocking down one of the pockets of fire because that would be helping Chief Palmer. So there's more fire than just the two pockets Chief Palmer is talking about. Chief Palmer says he can knock it down with two lines. And if the fire is so small that Jason and Dylan want you to believe it is, why would he need two lines? Couldn't he just knock it down with one? The two firefighters are on different stairwells, fighting different fires. They're both on the 78th floor. Now here's another clip from Loose Change. Like I said, I didn't alter the audio. Jason Bermas said exactly this in Loose Change.
The second plane hits the south tower between the 78th and 82nd floors at 9:03 a.m.
Okay, so if the two firefighters are on the 78th floor fighting separate fires, what about the 79th, 80th, 81st, and 82nd floor? Okay, I'm going to take what Loose Change says out of context to put it in different context, and this is what it would sound like if Jason wanted to report the truth.
If the 78th floor was a raging inferno like the government would have us believe, then Palmer wouldn't have gotten as far as he did, and certainly wouldn't have been able to put it out. But the second plane hits the south tower between the 78th and 82nd floors at 9:03 a.m.
Well, there you have it. They not only left the other firefighter out, who said he was fighting a fire in the B stairwell on the 78th floor, but they're sneaky like that, and they're not mentioning the 79th, 80th, 81st, and 82nd floors. Now, I went to websites. When I was looking for this audio, I came across some, at least two or three 9/11 for Truth websites that have transcripts of that audio. They don't have the audio, but what they do have is it's typed out, and you can read what it says. And I found three websites, and each of those three websites is missing that other firefighter because they're all covering up the same thing. Check it out. Google Chief Palmer, September 11th audio, something like that. Look around. Anytime you find a website that claims that the government caused September 11th and they have transcripts of that audio, that firefighter in the B stairwell is not going to be in there. They're hiding it. Not just Loose Change, but the entire conspiracy theory movement. They're the ones who are the real conspiracy. They're making money off of what they're lying about. Well, like I said, I prove Loose Change wrong 100% of the time. I have to date about 40 videos. Most of them are excerpts from my book. Some of them expose people like Willie Rodriguez. I prove that he's lying in the video. It's very hard to prove me wrong because my videos tell the truth. Well, check them out. And again, like I said, I wrote the book, Lifting Up the Couch Cushions, Exposing the Loose Change. The website is exposingtheloosechange.com. Check that out and see what you think. Take it easy.